Om Shanti and very good morning to everyone. Today we are going to read the Avyakta Murli as of 8 April 1982. The heading of the Murli is The Renunciation of Lokik and Alokik Relationships. In today's Murli, Baba is explaining in very detail how to renunciate all of the lokik and alokik relations. So many of us already have succeeded or quite fast in renunciating the lokik relationships, but somewhere when we are pulled ourselves out from lokik relationships, we also have n number of alokik relationships, and somewhere we are yet to overcome from that perspective as well. So Baba is explaining in detail, unless you renounce from all sort of bodily relationships, you can never become the bestower of blessings for all the world. So we'll see in detail how to work or how to renounce for all sort of bodily relationships. Today, Bapdada is seeing his special souls who are great donors and bestowers of blessings. The basis of becoming a great donor and a bestower of blessings is to become a great renunciate, Mahatyagi. Without becoming a great renunciate, you cannot become a great donor or a bestower of blessings. To be a great donor means to be someone who selflessly gives to other souls all the treasures he has received. So, what is the meaning of donor? A great donor to share every treasure that you have received from the Father. Only souls who are beyond selfishness can become great donors. A bestower of blessings will constantly experience himself to be full of the treasures of virtues, powers, and knowledge. So, what kind of treasures? We have treasure of virtues, powers, and knowledge. He will constantly have elevated and pure wishes for all souls and the elevated desire to benefit all souls. So, this is the elevated desire of a great donor. Only those who have such elevated desires and are constantly spiritually merciful and generous hearted can become bestowers of blessings. So, Baba has given clear understanding who can become the bestower of blessings, who have elevated thoughts or elevated desires of sharing all the treasures with each and every soul, and who are merciful, spiritually merciful. It's a different term, not just merciful, but spiritually merciful and generous hearted. Only they can become bestowers of blessings. For this, it is necessary to become a great renunciate. You have been told the definition of renunciation. The first renunciation is the renunciation of the consciousness of your body. The second is the renunciation of the connections of the body. The first aspect with relation to the body that you have been told about is with the physical senses, because you are connected to the physical senses for 24 hours. So, first you need to renunciate all the physical senses, the connection of the soul with the physical senses, which means you need to become free from those bondages first. Karmendriya Jit. The second step is to become a conqueror of the senses and to become someone who have all rights over them. You have also been given a clear explanation of this, how to conquer your senses. Baba says you have also been given clear explanation for this as well. The third aspect is that of the relationships of people with your body. So first, renunciation with your own body. Second, renunciation with your senses. And the third one, renunciation with the bodily relationships. The third aspect is that of the relationships of people with your body. Both lokik and alokik relations are included in this. You have to be a great renunciate in both types of relationships. That is, you have to be a destroyer of attachment. The sign, the sign of being a destroyer of attachment in both types of relationships is that there will neither be dislike for anyone, nor will there be attachment or subservience to anyone. लगाव या झुकाव in Hindi, attachment or subservience is लगाव या झुकाव. If you dislike anyone, then the defect of that person or the actions of or the actions that you don't like performed by that one will repeatedly disturb your intellect. So Baba is giving now what will be the loss or what you will lose if you get attached to someone. What will be the what benefits you are missing in this? So the defect of the person or any action that the other person is doing which you don't like will always disturb your mind. Ev- Even against your conscious wish, you will automatically have wrong thoughts about that person in your actions, words, and dreams. So Baba is talking deeper about dreams as well, because somewhere inside in your subconscious mind, that particular deed of the person which you didn't like is going to pull your mind. You will try to remember the father, but that soul will appear in front of you. We all have this experience when we were very new in this path. We have this experience. Similarly, a soul to whom your heart is attached. Now, Baba is telling in the other way around. The one you disliked, the other soul that you like. Similarly, a soul to whom your heart is attached or subservient will automatically attract you, even against your conscious wish. That soul will attract your intellect with his virtues or love, whereas a soul you dislike will disturb your selfish intellect because of your selfish motives not being fulfilled. So, the one who is disturbing you, that soul is disturbing because your selfish wish or your selfish motives is not being fulfilled by that soul. Until those selfish motives are fulfilled, the karmic accounts and opposing thoughts for that soul will not stop. So Baba is telling from both the perspective. One soul that you're attracted towards due to good his or due to that soul's good habit, or you would say the temporary love or support, and the other souls who are not doing things as per your wish. So from both the perspective, your thoughts are going to get pulled to them, towards them. The seed of dislike is a royal form of a selfish motive, and that is chahiye, should do. Like this one should do this, He shouldn't do that. This should happen. So every time someone else should do or should not do something according to your wish. That is what selfish, that is the royal form of the selfish motive. In this way, the desire of what you want to happen forges a wasteful relationship with that soul. Because of constantly having wasteful thoughts about a soul, you dislike, you become a spinner of the discus of looking at others, which means paradarshan chakradhari. You're always seeing other souls. Your thoughts are always looking to them. The wasteful relationship will not even allow you to become a destroyer of attachment. There wouldn't be attachment because of love, but out of compulsion. This is not love, this is about those souls who are disturbing you. What do you then say? I'm really fed up. I'm really fed up of this person because he don't understand. He don't do what I want him. Of course, the intellect would be pulled by whoever is making you fed up. Your time will be wasted in that, your intellect will be wasted in that, and your powers will be wasted in that. So, this is what we are losing. Our time, intellect, and powers are getting wasted in all this thought process that we are having inside. Therefore, the first one is this relationship. The second one is attachment or dependency on the basis of perishable love or attainment, or because someone has become a temporary support. This too pulls your intellect in terms of both lokik and alokik relationships. Someone who has given temporary support, mind automatically gets pulled towards that soul. In lokik life, when you receive love, support, or attainments from bodily relationships, you have special attachment for those people. Then you make effort to break away from that attachment, and you aim to stop your intellect being pulled by them in any way. After you let the lokik relationships go from the mind, not in your actions or day-to-day life, but go from the mind, not getting attached with the lokik relations. These same things in a lokik relationship pull your intellect, because now you're finding some sister into any lokik, into a lokik relation. You find someone like your brother into a lokik relation. So even if we are let go of the lokik relations from the mind, but we are finding those supports somewhere into a lokik relations or a lokik family. These two are relationships with bodily beings. However, Baba is saying these relations are also bodily relations. When you experience a problem in life, or there is some confusion in your heart, even against your conscious wish, you will only remember the soul who has given you some temporary support, someone who has given you some temporary attainment, or a soul to whom you have attachment. You won't remember the father. Now, here Baba is talking about alokik relations, attachment we have into the alokik relations. You won't remember the father. Then, once again, what do the souls who have such attachment think and say in order to justify themselves and defend themselves? Because we have justifications all the time for our karma, for our thought process. So Baba is saying what kind of justification they will give then, that the father is incorporeal and subtle, that someone in the corporeal form is definitely needed. This is our justification, that father is in incorporeal form, so there must should be someone who can understand, who is in corporeal form. Just like sometimes uh, uh, children said, Baba, you don't know, Baba, if you take the form of corporeal, I mean, if you come into the bodily relations, now you will understand that how we suffer or how we feel. Just like that here, children says that some corporeal support has to be there. This is a justification. However, you forget that if you have the relationship of all attainments with one father, if you experience all relationships and you trust and have very firm faith in the bestower of support, then although Bap Dada is incorporeal and subtle, he is bound to you in the bond of love. He gives you the feeling of the corporeal form. We also have this experience in some of our situations that there was no one in who was ready to support, and from somewhere someone just came, or Baba, make someone nimitta to come and help us or support in any particular situation. But for that, we need to have complete faith into Baba. What is the reason why you don't experience this? You have understood through knowledge that you have to have all relationships with the one father. Hmm. But you haven't put all of those relationships into practice in your life. This is the difference. We say that we need to have relation in all kind of relation with Baba, but in real life we haven't experienced that kind of love from Baba through all the relationships. This is why you are unable to experience all relationships practically. On the path of devotion, since the most elevated devotee, Meera, didn't just have a vision but also had a practical experience, then can't you children, who are embodiments of knowledge, the direct children of the ocean of knowledge, experience through the corporeal form of the one who is the basis of all attainments? So Baba is saying if Meera, who was just a devotee, can have this kind of practical experience in her life, then you souls are direct children of God. You have all the knowledge. Why can't you have this experience from Father for all kind of relations? So why do you put aside the Almighty authority and make souls who are number-wise in their capacity your support? So the one who is full in all capacity, you're keeping him aside and you're finding your support in those souls who are number-wise, who are also Purusharthi like you. That's what Baba is asking. Therefore, you must also keep this very deep account of karma in your intellect. The account of karma is very deep. You have to understand it. When you take some temporary support from a soul, or you make someone the basis of your attainment, then because your intellect is subservient to that soul, बुद्धि का झुकाव, लगाव या झुकाव, subservient to that soul, instead of your becoming karmatik, a bondage of karma is created. One gave and the other one took, and there was thereby an exchange of a soul with another soul, and that exchange creates the bondage or the karmic account. Therefore, did you create an account through that exchange of give and take, or did you finish something? Baba is asking, have you created a new account with that give and take, or have you finished the previous one? At that time, you feel as though you are making progress, but that progress is not really progress, but an accumulation in your account of karmic bondages. Means you already have a lot of karmic bondages. This is just adding to your existing account of karmic bondages. Each and every give and take with attachment is actually adding to your existing karmic bondages. What would the result of that be? A soul bound by a bondage of karma will not be able to experience any relationship with the Father. A soul who has a burden of karmic bondage will not be able to experience being completely stable in the stage of the pilgrimage of remembrance. Yad ki yatra will be very less. They will not experience permanent or steady yad ki yatra. Such souls will always be weak in the subject of remembrance. They may be clever and sensible when it comes to listening to knowledge and relating it, but they wouldn't be essential. They will be serviceable but will not be destroyers of the obstacles. They will make service grow, but that growth won't be done with the right method. Such souls can become speakers, but because of their burden of karmic bondage, they are unable to progress at speed. That is, they are unable to experience the speed of the flying stage. Because they have burdens of their karmic account, they can't fly. Both of these types of relationships of the body do not allow you to become a great renunciate. Therefore, first of all, simply check your relationships of the body as to whether you have attachment to anyone in the terms of dislike or in the terms of attainment or support from them. So, whether in negative perspective or through the positive, check if you have any attachment with any soul. That is, check that your intellect is not subservient. If your intellect is repeatedly pulled to someone, or if there is subservience to someone, it means that there is a burden. Something that is burdened always bow down. Therefore, this too becomes a burden of karma, and even though you may not want it to, your intellect does bow down to it. Do you understand? As yet, Baba has only told you about one thing connected with the body. So ask yourself, have I renounced all relationships of the body, or have I only renounced everything of the lokik but then forged them with an alokik? Souls who are going to become karmatit also have to renounce this bondage of karma. So for Brahmins, renunciation of these relationships is true renunciation. All kind of relationships is renunciation of them is a true renunciation. So do you now understand the definition of renunciation? Baba will tell you more later. So there are so many things yet to be covered. This is a weekly course of renunciation. Has today's lesson become firm? The specialty of Brahmins is to be great renunciates. Fortune cannot be attained without renunciation. You don't think that just because you have become Brahma Kumar and Brahma Kumari, you have renounced everything. Do you? Actually, no. Actually, the bondages are much more than the previous because earlier it was only lokik relations. Now there are alokik as well. The definition of renunciation is deeper for Brahma Kumar and Kumaris. Do you understand? Acha, to those who are constantly selfless, to those who are benefactors for everyone and who accumulate by using all attainments for service, to those who are constant bestowers, children of the bestower, to those who are selfless in terms of and temporary taking any temporary attainment, to the elevated souls who are great donors and bestowers of blessings, the ones who constantly have good wishes and benevolent feelings for all, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Now, Bap Dada's meeting with teachers. Do you servers souls constantly have the one aim of becoming equal to the Father, server souls, or the teachers. This is because you are set on the seat of being equal to the Father, just as the Father became the teacher and the instrument to give you teachings. Server souls are also fixed to perform the same duty, the same as the Father's. As are the Father's virtues, so too are the virtues of the instrument servers. Even if this is for teachers, this applies to everyone else as well. Therefore, first of all, check whether the words you speak are constantly equal to those of the Father. Are the thoughts you create equal to those of the Father? If not, then after checking, change them before putting them into action. So words and thoughts, check if it is equal to Father. If it is not, then change it and then come into the action. What will happen by checking yourself and then putting something into practice? Just as the Father is loving to all and is also detached from all, even though he is a server, so too, by serving in this way, you will be spiritually loving to all, as well as this, you will also remain detached. So, सबसे न्यारे और सर्व के प्यारे, from detached from everyone. The Father's main speciality is that he is detached to the same extent that he is loving. Be as loving as the Father is in service and remain constantly loving to the Father with your intellect's yoke and detached from everyone. So the more your intellect is connected to the Father, you will be loving, you will be loved by everyone, but still you will be detached from every soul, everyone. The more you are connected with the Father. This is called being a server just like the Father. Therefore, to be a teacher means to follow this speciality of the Father. All of you are working very hard in service, but you do have to pay special attention because sometimes you have to be detached and sometimes loving. If you don't do service with love, that is not right. Whereas if you do service whilst trapped in love, that too is also not right. So the balance needs to be there. Even if you're loving, at the same time need to be detached from the soul. Therefore, do service with love, but do it whilst remaining detached. For only then will there be success in service. If the success you receive is less than the efforts you make, then something is definitely lacking in your balance of being loved and detached. Therefore, a server means to be someone who is loving to the Father and also detached. That is the best stage of all. This is what is meant as a life like a lotus. This is why Shaktis are shown seated on a lotus. It is because they are as loving and detached as a lotus that they are portrayed sitting on a lotus. So, all you servers are seated on a lotus. Are you not? A seat means your stage. So it's not seat means the physical form of seat, the chair or the form it is showing in the images. That seat means it is the state of your mind, stage of the mind. That stage has been portrayed in the form of a seat. However, it isn't that someone is accurately seated on a lotus. Therefore, remain constantly seated on the lotus seat. Always pay attention that the lotus never falls into the mud of the thoughts of uh, body consciousness. So your mind should be always upwards. It shouldn't touch the mud of the body consciousness. Only then that state of mind will be constantly as lotus. Now Bab Dada is meeting with Kumars. To belong to the father in your Kumar life is a sign of such great fortune. Yes, indeed. Do you experience having been saved from being tied in so many bondages? A Kumar life means a life that is free from many bondages. You don't have any type of bondage. Let there not be even the bondage of the consciousness of the body. So Baba says, being a Kumar, you are saved by other bondages that you will make in your that you might make in your life, but you also need to take care of the bondages of consciousness of the body. You should work on that as well. All bondages come due to the consciousness of the body. Therefore, constantly continue to move along whilst considering yourself to be souls, brothers. By having this awareness, you will be able to move forward in your Kumar life while being free from obstacles. When there are no weaknesses, even in your thoughts or dreams, that is called being a destroyer of obstacles. While walking and moving along, let there be the natural awareness that you are souls. When you look at someone, look at the soul. When you listen to something, listen whilst considering yourself to be a soul. So, a soul is listening from another soul. Soul is looking to another soul. This needs to be natural practice. Never forget this lesson. Kumars can go ahead a great deal in service, but if, while serving, you forget to serve yourself, then obstacles come. A Kumar means to be a hard worker, but you do have to be free from obstacles. Let there be a balance of both, serving the self and serving the world. Don't get so busy in serving that you become careless about serving yourself. Serving yourself means working on your own bodily conscious bondage of the body consciousness. Because Kumar don't have other bondages, so main focus should be on their own soul consciousness practice. Okay. Uh, Careless about serving yourself because you, Kumar, can make yourselves move forward as much as you want. Kumars have physical strength and you also have the power of determination. This is why you can do whatever you want because you have both these powers. You can move forward. However, the art of balancing will take you into the ascending stage when there is the balance of serving self and serving the world, there will continue to be progress free from obstacles for Kumar. Now, second point, again with Kumar. Do you, Kumar, constantly consider yourself to be with the Father? I and the Father are constantly together. Have you become such constant companions? Usually, you make one person or another a companion in your life. So, who is your life companion? The Father. You could never ever find such a true companion. No matter how lovely your companion may be, physical companions can never fulfill the responsibility of companionship for all time. Whereas this true spiritual companion will constantly fulfill the responsibility of companionship. Therefore, are you Kumars alone or are you combined? So, you don't have any thoughts of making someone else your companion, do you? Baba always asks very straightly. Whenever any difficulty arises or when you are ill, when there is some difficulty about preparing food, do you have such thoughts of making someone your companion or not? Just like previously Baba said that there should be at least one lokik support. Sometimes we feel and we justify that. Same point goes for Kumar. Whenever you have any such thought, then consider that to be a wasteful thought. and finish it for all time. Never get entangled in that thought. Finish it for all time in a second. This is because today you may make that one your companion, but what guarantee do you have of that person for tomorrow? Therefore, what would be the benefit of making perishable person your companion? So, by constantly considering yourself to be combined, all other thoughts will finish because the Almighty Authority is your forever companion. It is not for any temporary timeline, is forever. जिंदगी के साथ भी जिंदगी के बाद भी, which is the slogan of LIC. That actually, that slogan is compatible with Father actually. Just as darkness cannot stay in front of the sun, so too Maya cannot stay in front of the Almighty Authority. All of you will then become conqueror of Maya. So, Bap Dada is your forever companion. Acha, Om Shanti. Now we will take 1 or 2 minutes for as silence just to recall the points, and then we will share our points. Or if anyone have any queries, we'll go with that. Thank you. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Yes, we can share our thoughts now.
Om Shanti Yogita Ben.
Om Shanti.
After really a week full of nice 18th January loveful Murlis, today
Mhm.
Baba has gone down on his moral science Murli. I was really enjoying and basking in those 18th January every. Okay, today, see, Baba has given us a lot of psychology, I feel, in the first
Mhm.
paragraph. The basis,
Right.
of course, it says lokik, alokik, renunciate, because if you don't renunciate, you cannot become a donor, no bestower. But I like this concept of dislike, like I made it as a capsule. Dislike
Mhm.
disturbs,
Mhm.
attachment attracts. But
Right.
sometimes I just think, why do there's a lot of difference between dislike and hatred. So I was just thinking, is Baba meaning is here about hatred? Maybe Baba thought, no, my children cannot be so bad as hating someone and all.
Mhm.
So dislike means it's just more than just not liking someone. Like you can never see that person in a positive light. Whatever that person does, maybe he's really doing something nice, he's trying to change, but we will try to interpret it. See, all this happens even in a lokik as well as an alokik relationships. I've
Mhm.
seen this. For example, I see if a person you often find sleeping and all when a mudli is going on or no, you tend to have a dislike. But after that, if you come to know what's the real reason, what is that doing, even then we don't try to take it positively.
Mm-hmm.
And dislikes, as Baba has rightly said, you should be very, very careful, because see, Baba said dislike disturbs your intellect. It may go into feelings of anger. ये ऐसा क्यों कर रहा है, इसको करना नहीं चाहिए, ये ऐसा नहीं
Exactly.
करना चाहिए, that anger, contempt,
Mm-hmm.
disgust. And sometimes, ये क्यों होता है, why we dislike someone? Because we have no power in ourselves. We are vulnerable. We have fear. We have
Mm-hmm.
mistrust. This is for dislike. But see, for attachment, even how very nicely Baba I said, how we attract. Oh, uska ye
Exactly.
acha hai. He's got good virtues. And that's so just in short, dislike disturbs, attachment attracts.
Attracts.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister. Very well said that. Yes, this is because most of time we think about dislikes, but how about the positive side of that person or the other soul that we are attracted towards due to their qualities or the temporary support or love we have for them. So yes, both things are. This is what is mentioned into Gita as a sthita pragya, not getting affected by any side of or anything, by cold or hot, by good or bad, anything. So this kind of uh, explanation Baba has given, which is very deeper to understand as well and to inculcate and practically put into your situation or practically practice it into your situation. And the reason behind that, Baba also said very rightly, that which point I like, which is my takeaway point, that experiencing father's love through all the relationships. Yes, that's a very nice point. Anyone else?
Shan, here Baba says, don't get into like liking somebody or disliking somebody. Those
Yes.
both two were important, I felt. Though
Mm-hmm.
the liking has gone, the dislike sometimes occurs, but then Baba says that if you get into that chakra of disliking, then you will be fed up, your intellect will be pulled, you will waste your powers and time. These are, I mean, very fine points I'll have to churn more about. You become Pardarshan Chakradari, Baba says.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something very important that I should be knowing. And somewhere or the other, there's also a point where Baba says that your selfish intellect is not getting fulfilled. That's why you're disliking somebody. That is
The,
again something a point to check.
mm,
Is my intellect or is my motive not getting fulfilled? Is that the reason that why I'm disliking somebody? Is the question in mind that I have to churn, but most probably it is not that way. Uh, that's something to churn about. And also, in subsequent points, Baba says that, I mean, having a like or dislike creates karmic bondages, which makes
mm,
you burdenful, burdensome. And then the burdensome, if it is heavy, it makes you come down. So you will not be in a flying stage. You'll not be lighter. And as Baba mentioned, um, that such souls will not be obstacle free, and though they seem to be clever and sensible, they will be slow in their progress.
yes.
So their purusharth will not be yatharth. That is not, they're not following SOPs standard. So they are not actually great renunciates. That's what Baba says.
Mm-hmm.
So very deep science of how relationships actually form in lokik or alokik. I mean that's a great thing. One last thing, I even understood why uh, a like relationship,
Mm-hmm.
like thing that
Mm-hmm.
actually attracts, attachment is formed because there is love, there is support, and there are attainments from somebody. That is how
Yes.
लगाव या झुकाव बनता है किसी के साथ. That is
Mm-hmm.
how attachment is formed. Though it's a positive or a very like relationship, but it is still a not relationship with father. It is a relationship with a human being that
Mm,
is being formed on the basis of love, support, or attainment from that.
exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, sister.
And
Thanks, Baba.
yeah, thank you for sharing for this. Thank you for sharing this. One point I just was thinking when you said this, that even though that relationship is seems like it is positive because we are attaining something, or we are getting support, but there is also an expectation attached to that. What if I'll not get it tomorrow? So there is a fear of losing relation. There is also, if I'll not get, then this soul will come into my dislike group, and then that frustration and that fed up, the word Baba used, I'm fed up with this because I was expecting, which I was getting earlier, and now I'm not getting. So it's completely entangled. It's, too many thoughts, wasteful thoughts, wasting energy, time, everything. And there is no any parameter that which soul would be in your dislike group and which soul is in your attraction or the attachment groups. Any can come from any group anytime, because it is with body relations, it is also always going to go like this. So that is why Baba said, even though it is from attracts point or it is from dislike point, don't have any kind of such, because basically if we just see, we really already had a lot in lokik, and then if we are carry forwarding everything into alokik in the same way, then it is just change of family, but the thought process and what we are, expecting and what we are getting and what we are not getting, that cycle is still there. So that's why Baba says that pardarshan chakradhari. Previously it was with lokik relations, now it is with alokik. So it's a very deep understanding, Murli. Very nice thought. Yes, sister, you're saying
But
something?
Yogita Ben,
Mm-hmm.
see, that brother had shared something about the deep root of the dislike is mere andar kuch selfish hai. But I find sometimes, why
Mm-hmm.
does Baba call it a selfish? See, when I see somebody not doing well or sleeping in a murli, maybe I have a very nice selfless motive that he also should be okay. I want him to do. So how that can be a vulnerability? See, we know dislike is because of a vulnerability in ourselves, because of self. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel at times, maybe if my intentions, if I check, I want even
Mm-hmm.
that person to listen to it. That's why. So instead of say karna chahiye, usko bhi karna to acha lagega. I think if I change my language, that would be
Mm-hmm.
okay. And secondly, he was saying about, you know, see, I can't understand in alokik relationship, Baba is saying, you want love in a corporeal form, take it from me. But I keep telling Baba, you are just a point of light. And if I am
Mm-hmm.
also as a point of light, I can, that kind of support which you're saying, enjoy all relationships. Like he gives an example of Meera and all. But
Mm-hmm.
somewhere down the lane, we do go and see, when we have our problems, when we have our confusions or anything in a family or something, we check out some alokik person, maybe a Divi or maybe a senior brother, and
Mm-hmm.
we give. Now it's so frightening. Now Baba is saying, if you create such a support, maybe I don't know. I am adding that word. Baba has not added
Mm-hmm.
permanently. Then
Mm-hmm.
Baba is saying you will be weak in remembrance. You will not be essential. I
Mm-hmm.
think that hit me when
Yeah.
Baba said. Uh, I don't know why does Baba give us such kind of warning signals at times. That was a danger signal for me to know, like I should not keep even an alokik, maybe dadis or didis or anyone. Even them Baba is calling as a alokik relationship.
Yeah, see, yes, your point is very right. But what I feel here, Baba is saying, you need to see, asking for questions, or going for some problems, or sharing something with your seniors, or even need to understand any particular thing into Murli. That is okay. But with intellect, if you are keeping someone as a support, today you have that person as a support, even if it is a Lokik, in a Lokik family, there is a thin line between, asking for help. It's like, for example, it's like assertiveness and anger. Just for example, assertiveness is not the stage of anger, the turmoil in the mind, but you are still clear in your instructions with someone else. I think in the same way, you need to be, it is a very thin line to understand that you are mentally, you are not completely dependent on that person. For some reason, you're asking, you're taking help is okay, but intellect and your mind is not attached to that help. You're very clear in the mind that, okay, today I get support from here, but maybe tomorrow I'll not. Then I'll be okay to do it on my own, or I'll be able to take it from Father directly. Because even while taking help from that soul at that moment, if you're seeing the soul, then you will get attached to him or to that person, whether it is Didi, Dadi, or any senior. But if you're seeing through that this soul is nimitta and Baba is giving me from this soul, then you'll not get attached to that soul. Mentally, you will not get attached. On external form, you will get help, or you will get to know what you want, or you will get resolve your problems with their help. But your mind says that you get this help from Baba through this soul. Then you will not get attached to the soul, then your mind will go to Father directly. I think it should be in this way. But if someone else has any other thought process, then they can also share. But I think it should, I mean, for me, it is like this. If I'm taking help or I'm asking something to someone in a lokik life, I should see it in this perspective that Baba is helping me through this soul. So this, because anyway, everyone who is helping or anyone is sharing their wisdom is not actually theirs. Even in alokik, everything we all learn is from directly Baba. So if someone is, higher than me, like Didi or Dadi, or who are more practicing these things, we get help from them. But if we have this in mind that they are also the instrument and Baba is helping me through them, then we'll connect to, just like Baba always says, don't connect people to you. You are the speaker. You are just mic. Connect them to me. In that way, I think if we can try, then we'll not get attached to these souls as well, but we'll just have as a friend or as a family member, like Baba always says. Yes, anyone have any thought on this or any other way we can think for this point, that how not get attached to them, but sometime yes, we need their help or we need some understanding for any point or anything that in Murli we don't understand, we need that help. So if anyone have any other thought, please share.
Shanti, you can also consider it as a service companion.
Yes, exactly.
So that way, the way you look at the relationship would slightly change. And you can also be a detached one and then give complete cooperation with that. So, though your relation close one, still, yeah, at least in your intellect, you will be able to maintain that, that mm, differentiate. You can put that barrier will be there. Um, so you would know that he is your service companion and like you rightly mentioned, Baba is getting it done. So uh, everybody's intention is one. We are working towards one objective, one goal. So here, Baba is making it happen.
Exactly. That will also, exactly, very true. That will also help your mind to, directly connect to Baba instead of getting
Yeah. So
attached to the soul.
correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have to justify our mind and intellect, right? So that is where
Mm-hmm.
everything comes, because everything comes in the form of thought. So when you have these points firmly in your intellect, then you are justified. Then
Mm-hmm.
not many question arises within you, and then it becomes easy for you to justify yourself first. Then when you put Baba, the reason between all this, that will simplify the remembrance also. Remembering Baba.
Exactly.
Yeah, also.
Yes, exactly.
That one sentence, कभी कभी in every Murli Baba ये तीर डालते हैं, where Baba is saying, no, your Gyan Swarup, you're my direct children. Why do you put the almighty authority aside and bring other soaps? I really, मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा.
Mm.
As if, we are putting Shiv Baba, जरा hatke reh jao, and we are bringing others out. That, somewhere in the Murli, such kind of thing, तीर लगाता है.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Vinod Bhai raised his hand. I think he also.
Yes, sister. In the interest of
Yes.
time, I'll quickly share in half a second or so.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So, Baba sometimes say that you have to take sahyog from people and fly. He had given an example of a car which had stopped. धक्का लगा के उसे आगे बढ़ा लो. Like you take the help of people and move away.
Exactly.
Sometimes, I mean, I was thinking this point had come into mind when Baba said no to have even alokik relationships. And I mean, how to fulfill that thing and move on is to have a mutual benefit. Like say, if you're having bhojan from a center, do something there and then move on. you know and then
Yes,
when Baba
yes.
says have all the relationships with me, then I only think, even for, I mean, Baba's books, Baba's Murlis seem to be very, very deeper. So we have to sit with Murlis and then get answers from that, because they are lying somewhere in the history, they are lying somewhere in the books. I mean, that
Yes.
that can increase your purusharth in one way and make you a better purusharthi, and that's how probably one can move on. Yeah, thank you.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you for sharing this. Yes. Anyone have any other point? Or can we go for 2 minutes of silence and we will check how we can work on this, how to renounce the relationships, even though it is lokik or alokik. So we'll go for 2 minutes of silence and yoga. And we will prepare our mind for the renunciation while we are into the action. How to see a soul, which is the first chapter of our studies. While talking, talk to the soul. While listening, listen from the soul. And this practice will make things easier. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Divine Family. Thank you, Yogita Ben. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a lovely day.
Thank you. Om Shanti.